It's drink. I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Sorry, Izzy, little accident.
What was that?
It was delicious. I want another.
Well, you could have just said so.
I just did.
No, I mean, ask nicely.
I meant no disrespect.
All right, well, no more smashing. Deal?
Okay, but only if you let me review your movie.
Good.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Mile Manor Vlog. I'm Chris. So this past Friday, the next chapter in the Marvel Cinematic Universe came out. Thor: The Dark World. Are you curious about seeing it? Let me help you decide. So Thor: The Dark World. This one is directed by Alan Taylor, not by Kenneth Branagh, who did the first one. Alan Taylor has not directed a feature film in about 10 years, but he has done a lot of TV. More importantly, TV that lends itself to the world of Thor. He did about 5 episodes of Game of Thrones. He's directed episodes of Boardwalk Empire, Mad Men, Rome, Lost. Basically, if it's an award-winning drama television series within the last probably 15 years, he's probably directed an episode of it. So he's qualified for TV, but is he qualified for film? I think so. This fits right in with the rest of the Marvel Universe. The story for the movie is the Dark Elves, led by Malekith, who's played by Christopher Eccleston. We'll get back to him later. They're searching for this red liquid-like substance called the Ether, basically being able to turn all the 9 realms into darkness again. The movie basically starts off with this giant battle between the Black Elves and the Asgardians. We're talking millennia ago, Thor's grandfather, because we know Asgardians can live a long, long time. And the Asgardians win, take the Ether, and bury it very deep down in Asgard. This is where we catch up to modern times. So Jane Foster is now in England. She happens upon a type of portal thing which transports her to Asgard, more specifically where they're keeping the Ether, and she becomes infected by the Ether. Jane Foster's transported back to England, and boom, we have our plot. Jane Foster's now infected by the Ether, which is basically killing her. Malekith has awoken and is now going after the Ether, and Thor has come down to get Jane Foster to save her and cure her, so he brings her back to Asgard. Okay, so the characters. We have Malekith, the head of the Dark Elves, played by Christopher Eccleston. You wouldn't really recognize that it was him, because he doesn't look like this. He looks like this. No, that's Deathstroke. He's not Deathstroke in this. Let's try this again. He looks like this. No, that's him as the 10th Doctor. Let's one more time. He looks like this. You really can't tell that was him, right? I couldn't even figure that out till the credits hit at the end. And of course, you have Chris Hemsworth making his return as Thor, the God of Thunder. Anthony Hopkins makes his return also as Odin, Thor's dad, and Rene Russo as Thor's mother. And also we have Loki returning. Fangirls unite. Tom Hiddleston returns. I'll give you ladies a little picture here for you to swoon over. Also, Idris Elba returns with a much more expanded role. He doesn't get frozen in the first quarter of the movie and not return. Also, they're returning Sif and the Warriors 3, basically all the same actors except for Fandral, who originally was Joshua Dallas, who you might recognize from Once Upon a Time as Prince Charming. Well, he had a little bit of a conflicting schedule because he had Once Upon a Time going on, but they surprisingly seamlessly replaced him with Zachary Levi. That's right, Chuck from the Nerd Herd is in the Thor movie, but you wouldn't recognize him. He's so well cast and carries it off very well. And of course you have Sif, played by Jamie Alexander. Now there was a rumor going around that Jamie Alexander met with Warner Brothers about playing a possible character in maybe Batman, Superman. Do I hear Wonder Woman? I'll have to admit, watching this movie, seeing her in it, I didn't think it was Sif. I was thinking Diana. I think she'd fit the role perfectly. Also, you have Stellan Skarsgård returning as Eric from the Avengers movie and the original Thor movie. And of course, Kat Dennings, which, let me lead this into our bad and our good of the movie. First of all, we'll do with the good. The action in it is fantastic. Even the little end battle that seems like it takes place in the game Portal. One of the funniest parts is Loki's presence in this. Sure, he's got the whole villain role going for him, but he makes some great one-liners and quips at Thor's expense.
Thank you for the commentary, Loki. It's not at all distracting.
Well done. You just decapitated your grandfather.
Not to mention he leads to a pretty interesting cameo. Also in the good, you have the post-credit sequence. Now, reminder, there are two post-credit sequences. There's one after kind of a main cast credit sequence at the end, and then there's a second one after all of the credits. The first one is kind of key critical. It sets up a lot for future movies in the Marvel Universe. The second one, it's kind of comparable to the one at the end of the Avengers. You know, the shawarma scene. And now the bad. Like I said before, Kat Dennings, in the original Thor movie, I said it before in that, she really doesn't belong in this movie. I know she's just there for comedic relief, but she really gets annoying. Also, the pacing is kind of up and down and not really consistent. So that's the bad. But one little thing, Joss Whedon came in and helped with an uncredited role in writing two little parts. One was the little cameo appearance, and the other was a battle that Thor has with a rock creature. Surprisingly, the rock creature is the exact same villain that Thor fought in his first appearance in Journey into Mystery number 83. So my final ruling on this movie, I would say go see it in the theaters, especially if you're a fan of the Avengers and the Marvel series. The 3D isn't really a must, but I highly recommend it because you get a 5-minute Captain America Winter Soldier preview consisting of a scene and a little bit of an extended trailer. So Thor: The Dark World I would give 3.5 stars to. So where does this list in the range of Marvel Cinematic movies? Here's my list from best to worst. Best being the Avengers, and worst being the original Thor movie. This one slides right in there between Iron Man 3 and 2. So it's near the bottom, but it's still necessary for the series. Alright, question of the week. I want to know, what is your favorite movie of this Marvel Universe going on right now? Put it in the comments below. Also, don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at this address. You can get all your nerdy and geeky delights. And you also receive updates of when our new videos hit. Always don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Click on the like button down below, and then also the subscribe button so we show up in your YouTube feed. For the Mild Mannered Vlog, I'm Chris. Have some fun. Watch some Marvel movies. Watch some DC movies. Come on. There's so many to choose from. There's so many to choose from.
So many to choose from.
There's so many to choose from.